Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 22, Democracy and Government. In previous class, we have discussed about the chapter our community life unit in diversity, and the people of our country from different races, regions, religions, caste, and speak different language. And in such a diverse society, different demands arise which are often in conflict with one another, and how the country also solve the conflicting situation. The positive attitude for live and let live is the best course to amicably settle the disputes and solve the problems. In this chapter, we will discuss the democracy and the government. Now, almost all countries in the world, except few countries, are the democratic countries, because democracy government is the best government than any other alternatives, and for that cause more and more countries also like the democracy, and they also follow the democratic government. The democratic way of a life based on equality, fraternity, and justice. In democratic government, all citizens are equal without any discrimination, and the democratic way of life is based on the equality between the citizens and maintain the fraternity or brotherhood, and justice means all are equal in the eyes of law. And India has a democratic government, and democracy is just not a form of government, but it is a way of life. Be it a government office, a private company, a hospital, or an educational institution, conflicting interests lead to misunderstanding, rigid stance, and sometimes clashes. In such a situation for discord and division, democratic attitude for adjustment and accommodation is the best way to settle the issues. In every country, you will find the misunderstanding, the rigid stance, and sometimes the division of the society and the classes between the groups of people. But in democratic government, that is the adjustment and accommodation is the best way to settle the issue, because democratic government did not prefer any particular religion people, any particular language people, and the democratic government tried their best to solve the problems amicable. And that is why India is opted to form a democratic government. and it teaches us to provide equal opportunities to everyone without any discrimination. Democracy is just not a form of government, but is a way of life. And in democracy, everyone can share equal freedom in social, economic, and a political field. Means all people are equal in social, economical, and also political field. In case of a conflicting interest, issues and extreme approach, the harmony can be brought through tolerance and self-discipline. If any conflicting situation happen, then the harmony can be brought through tolerance and self-discipline. And let us discuss the features of or goals of a democracy. To solve all problems through discussion, persuasion, and compromise. In democratic government, all problems will be solved by discussion, persuasion, and compromise. There is no place for the coercion and also violence in democracy. In democracy, there is no place of violence because the government should not prefer any particular group of people. Those who create violence, they must be punished. And democracy stands for gradual changes in society in the social, economic, and political field. In democracy, it stands for gradual changes. Changes should be brought in society, in social and economical and political field, but in gradual. Democracy aims at a social, economic, and political equality. In the feature of a social, economic, and political field, all people are getting the equal opportunities and enjoy the equal rights like this. And it maintain the harmony and balance in the society. But such things you will not find in the other non-democratic government. To root out authoritarianism and dictatorship. In democracy, no one can dictate upon others because it gives or it provides the equal status, equal opportunity, equal benefit to each and every citizen. And in democracy, there is no dictatorship, not one person rule or one man rule. Democracy inculcates the habits of obeying the rules and regulation of the state. In democracy, the government govern according to the constitution. Whatever the rules and regulations also prescribed in the constitution, the government must obey, as well as the citizens also obey the rules and the regulations of the state. It helps to maintaining peace. In democracy, it helps to maintaining peace. It endeavors to solve the problem of poverty, hunger, illiteracy, and unemployment, the main cause of inequality in India. In our country, there are so many problems, but our government tried their best to solve these problems which are arises. These problems are poverty, hunger, illiteracy, and unemployment. And the ultimate goal of the democracy, the well-being of each individual as a distinct and a significant human being. These are the features of the democracy or the goals of a democracy and the representative democracy. In a vast country like India, it is difficult to devise a method for the direct participation of the people in the governance of the country. Now, almost all countries are democratic countries, except few countries. But they are the representative democracy, means we choose the representatives and they also work in behalf of us. Means in the election, we cast the vote to choose one representative among us. That's why it is known as the representative democracy. And under this system, people elect their representatives who govern on their behalf. This means India is indirectly governed by the people through their elected representatives. Means our country is indirectly governed by the people through their representatives. But it is not possible to participate all people directly. That's why the representatives are like the sarpanch, the panch, the ward member, the MLA, the MP. They are elected by the people. They are known as the representatives. And India is the largest democracy of the world, governed by a democratic government. Our country, the largest democracy in the world. And a democratic government is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. This line is also told by Abraham Lincoln, the former president of United States of America. The democratic government is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. The people of India have the power to govern their country through their elected representatives who take decisions. Means the elected representatives, they take decision on behalf of the people, make laws in the interest of the people, and work for their welfare. People's participation. How people also participate in the democratic government. Participation of the people in the election process of the country at various levels is based on the universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means at the age of 18 or above, in our country, every citizen is entitled to cast the vote without any discrimination on the ground of religion, caste, language, tribe, sex, like this. Means all citizens are entitled to cast a vote. Those who are 18 or above, that is known as the universal adult franchise. In many countries, the women have no right to the vote. Saudi Arabia is one of the country where in 2015 women got the voting right. In France also, the women got the voting right in 1946, just before 1 hour of independence. But our country, after independence, the universal adult franchise also adopted, means all citizens are entitled to cast a vote. There is no discrimination. And this right forms the very basis of a democratic government at various levels in India. People's participation does not end even after the election. And after the election means after the election, people's participation does not end. Means we cast the vote, means we have not completed our participation. It is also to be seen when government is formed by the elected representatives. In a day-to-day life, people closely watch the activities of the various departments of the government and criticize also. We have the right to criticize the government work, the various departments' activities, if required. They also guard their own rights and freedom given to them by the Indian Constitution. Because we have the right. And levels of a government, keeping in mind the large extent of the country, vast population of the diversity of India, the responsibility of the government have been divided into government at the three levels. In our country, the power also shared among the different levels of a government. That is known as the vertical division of a power. The different levels of a government in our country, that is the local government, the state government, and union government. The government at the national level work for the whole country and is called the central government or union government. The government which work for the whole country and is called the central or union government. The government at the state level works within its own state. Suppose in Jharkhand, that is the state government. The state government is only, the Jharkhand government is only responsible for the Jharkhand state. And for example, the government of Haryana works only in the state of Haryana. The government of Kerala or Jharkhand looks after the Kerala state or Jharkhand state only like this. And the lowest level of a government is at the village level government, which is also called the government at the grassroots level or local government. The local government is also divided into two parts, that is the rural government and urban government. The Grama Panchayat come under this category. Grama Panchayat, municipality, municipal corporation, these are the local government. And in this way, we have completed this chapter. You please read the chapter thoroughly. Thank you. Have a good day.